If you two are in the same universe, you'd be friends. Bosom buddies. Something like...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Haas and Incorporated.
Would you be reluctant friends? Something more like...
Can two divorced men share an apartment without driving each other crazy?
Have you been in my stuff?
Your Bossk stuff?
How do you know I'm talking about Bossk?
Well, when aren't you talking about Bossk?
Well, one's missing.
Well, what would a Trekkie want with Bossk anyway?
For your Gorn porn?
It's not porn, they're just very good friends.
Well, one's still missing.
Well, I'll have you find him.
This isn't the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, but while we were talking about Bossk, I figured we'd talk about your costume.
Hi, I'm Johnny Havoc.
And I'm Newt.
Together we're Simple Tricks and Nonsense.
Even outside of Star Wars, you may recognize this suit. You may recognize it from an old Doctor Who, or maybe other 60s sci-fi.
This was the dawn of space exploration, and creating a suit to meet the needs of the soon-to-be astronauts was evolving fast. The high-altitude Windac pressure suit was developed in 1962 to meet RAF requirements. It could be sealed, pressurized, and inflated. Many areas were heavily reinforced to survive being put under pressure when expanded. The shoulders and forearms also featured sealed swivel rings to aid in movement, a feature that would find its way to U.S. pressure suits of the same era. These suits were likely samples to be evaluated because of their official life being so short and limited. Probably not long after, they were bought as surplus and used as studio wardrobe assets. So they were made in 1962, but as early as 1964 were featured in a sci-fi film. In 1968, they were again used, but this time in an early Doctor Who episode. Less than 10 years later, the suits would surface in Star Wars. A random, helmeted spaceman walks in the background of the cantina, and Obi-Wan talks to Bossk, who is wearing a black version of the suit, before he passes him off to Chewbacca. Then, in 1980, the pressure suit goes to the Trandoshan, who will make it his own. Both in Empire Strikes Back and in Return the Jedi, Bossk is wearing the yellow Windac pressure suit.
When did you start the costume?
I started this costume 10 years ago, but this isn't the costume that I started 10 years ago. That first version was awful.
What made it awful?
There was a lot of things. I didn't know what I was doing.
Well, what changed?
What changed was I learned how to sew. I could sculpt and cast in latex. There were finally mysteries concerning the suit were revealed.
That's right, because up until recently, detailed pictures of the suit didn't exist.
Exactly. Well, once a couple of the actual pressure suits were found, both I think in a private collection and a museum, they were photographed, and then that helped solve a lot of the mysteries. Then people could figure out, where straps went and what the length of cable was and what kind of latch was on this and so on. Even what kind of ratchet was used, that was all figured out.
So before that?
It was a mystery. Well, wasn't a mystery, but people were referring to really bad photos just from Empire Strikes Back. So the biggest obstacle was trying to recreate a 60-year-old pressure suit. And then, like we were just saying, once those photos were found, a lot of the mysteries went away.
It was a game changer.
Yeah.
Fast forward 30 years, and two original suits surface. Finally, after decades, and basically only having images from the Star Wars films and toys as reference, would-be costume makers suddenly have high-resolution images of the real deal. No more blowing up an old grainy photo and wondering if a saggy posterior was part of the suit or was it an ammo pouch. No more guessing at parts or fittings. And on top of that, with the availability of 3D printers, parts from an over 50-year-old pressure suit could be digitally recreated and printed. So many things came to light in just the past 10 years, it's no wonder I'm constantly updating and refining this costume. For me, I could probably consider my current version of the costume at number 4 or 5. Am I finished with upgrades? No. There will be a few more things I'd like to improve, but I'm happier with the costume and with what I've learned along the way.
But all that detail and all that work in the pressure suit is only one major aspect of the costume.
Exactly. What did you do for the latex parts?
The latex parts, I sculpted it out of clay and then molded it and then cast it in latex. But in doing that, you of course want to try to scale it to your body or to your size. And this is actually the second head that I made. The first head was so tight that it was painful to put on. And you try to make these latex masks so that you don't have that split up in the back. And this one came out a lot better. And then on top of that, you try to make Bossk look fearsome because he's this reptilian bounty hunter, but then when you watch the movie and you see his face and it's a little blunt, he's got a derpiness to him.
Yeah, he's always got that smile on his face.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was working towards.
So you got to find that balance. So, is it time to suit you up?
Is it time to get sweaty and get claustrophobic? I guess so.
transactions, please press 1.
Like a boss.
Oh yes, I keep the bank rolling.
Like a boss.
Sipping lean, big paper hold.
Like a boss.
You know we got it locked now.
Like a boss.
Lately cool with the top jam.
Like a boss.
We got them chopping.
Like a boss.
We got them chopping.
Like a boss. Like a boss.
From Big LA to Ray, my team stayed looted up. I called Danny Trejo, bring the cameras, movie, shoot it up. Eric's gone green, from wax to the kush. What's up to crypto? LA to Mexico. Hit my partner Jose. Catch us at the Palms out in Vegas sipping rose. Stop being nosy. Everything is okay. Diamonds on my chain that say my name so they know me.
Like a boss. Like a boss.